you're a skinny guy and you're trying to build more muscle, then you're in the right place. I used to be in the same boat and I was a really skinny guy. And there's a lot of different reasons why guys might want to build muscle, but the main reason for me, I just wasn't getting the level of attraction that I wanted from women. I would see a lot of these other guys in school. They were a lot more muscular, had more athleticism, basically played sports, things like that. And they were getting the majority of the attention while I was pretty much getting none. And I just kind of came to the realization that if I want to start getting that level of attraction from women, I have to start building more muscle. I have to build like a nice physique. Now, it was a whole bunch of other things as well. Like I just like felt low self-confidence because I was a really skinny guy. And also, some guys would just tease me for being really skinny and weak. But all of that ended up just like making me realize, okay, I've got to change this and I've got to change it like really fast. I was tired of being just overlooked. I was tired of just being teased all the time. I knew that I had to change. Now, I've made a lot of progress and I've also along the way made a lot of mistakes. And I just want you to be able to make progress way faster than I was able to and just like avoid some of the pitfalls and mistakes that I made and like a lot of other guys make when they're trying to go from the transition from being really skinny to having more muscle. Now, there's a few principles that I just want you to understand so that you can, start getting more self-confidence, start getting more respect from guys and get more attraction from women. First thing is that you just need to be resourceful, especially when you're a younger guy and you just don't have as many financial resources. You may not be able to afford a gym or like have access to a bunch of this equipment. You may just like not be in an area where there is a gym nearby or whatever, but whatever your situation is, just be resourceful. Use whatever resources that you have to your advantage. You may not have all the equipment or like the things that you want to have, but don't use that as an excuse for why you're not going to do anything. For example, I just started doing out push-ups and, I had a pull-up bar, some very like tiny dumbbells or whatever, but I just use that and like some of the equipment around my house. Just use whatever you have to your advantage. You don't necessarily need a gym. A gym will help you, make progress a lot faster because, that's a place that's designed to help you build muscle way faster, but just don't use that as an excuse or your inability to access some certain things as an excuse to not make any progress because you can still make a lot of progress even if you don't have a lot of those things. Second thing you need to understand is the concept of progressive overload. Basically, for example, if your workout routine is just doing 5 push-ups because, you're at the very beginning and, you're pretty weak or whatever, and you just do 5 push-ups, cool, that's awesome. You shouldn't be staying at just 5 push-ups every day. You need to progressively overload, basically increasing the level of difficulty for your workouts almost every day. If you just do 5 push-ups every day, for example, you're just going to plateau and not be able to make as much muscle because your body needs like an increased stimulus. It needs the workouts to be harder and harder so that your body knows, okay, we need to build more and more muscle. It's a pretty simple concept and a lot of guys, they kind of get it right, but they don't. Past a certain point, they just like forget about it because they get comfortable with their workout routine. Keep making your workout routine harder and harder, difficult as you can possibly go. Go to failure, just make it harder and harder for yourself, and you're going to be able to make a lot more progress. The third thing is that you want to be at a calorie surplus. Pretty much what this means is that you're eating more calories than it takes to maintain your current weight. This is a big mistake that a lot of skinny guys make, especially because they're just not eating enough calories to be able to gain weight, and like thus they aren't able to build as much muscle as fast as they possibly could. They're kind of maintaining this same amount of weight, which you can still make muscle by doing that, but you're just not going to make as much muscle as you possibly can. You don't even need to go overboard which is like the traditional bulk where you just like gain weight excessively fast. What you can do is a lean bulk where you're eating at a very just like slightly, barely even noticeable calorie surplus. So you're still gaining weight. You're like pretty much maximizing the amount of muscle that you can make. You're still maintaining like your level of leanness. It's just like a way better deal than if you just don't pay attention to the amount of calories you eat, because this is something that I did for a while and it just took me way too long, or longer than it should have, to like build the amount of muscle that I have. So definitely just be at a calorie surplus. If you want to be able to track your calories better, you can use this free app. It's called MyFitnessPal. Basically, it's free on the Android or, iPhone, App Store, whatever. Pretty much when you sit down to eat a meal, you just put down in like whatever you're eating, like what you're eating. So say you're eating, a bowl of cereal. You just put in, okay, I'm eating a bowl of cereal. It'll track the amount of calories. So like track macros and like all of those different things. And you'll be able to get a better understanding of how many calories that you're actually eating. If you're eating like too little calories and you're like losing weight on average, throughout the weeks, then okay, I need to increase the amount of calories that I'm eating. It's pretty simple, but very easy to overlook. Those are like the three main things. If you want to like start building muscle as a skinny guy, that'll really help you to make progress way faster. If you got some value from this video, I'm very excited for you because I know that you're well on your way to making progress, building more muscle, and creating that physique that you want. But if specifically you are a skinnier guy and your primary reason for building more muscle is really just because you want to get more attraction from women, then I've created a blueprint for guys just like you. It's called the Skinny to Aesthetic Body Blueprint. Basically, it goes over everything that you need to know to go from being a skinny guy that really gets no attention from women to having an aesthetic body that gets you a lot more attraction and attention from women. Basically, it goes over everything you need to know from the workouts, nutrition, recovery, mindset, all of the things that you need to know to go from being really skinny to having an aesthetic physique. Now, if you want to, click the first link in the description. It'll take you to this website. You basically enter your email, click the submit button, and then it'll send you that blueprint absolutely for free. Now, I highly recommend that you don't procrastinate on this because it's not going to be free forever. Just because I know how valuable this is, I may end up charging for this in the future. So don't procrastinate. Click the first link in the description, get this blueprint, and start making progress as soon as possible. I'm making it free for you early birds because I just want to make you, help you make progress as soon as possible. So don't procrastinate. First link in the description.